Hi students, and welcome to our lecture series on Aryabhat. Today I am going to take up this topic of percentage. As you know, percentage plays a very important role in all the examinations and more so in the Aryabhatta examinations. Right? Today we are going to have a short look on the percentage topic. Right? So keep subscribing our video and keep watching this space because we are all giving you some very interesting concept. Right? So let's start this topic of percentages. What do you mean by percentage? Right? By the way, we are going to do applications of percentages as well. Right? But for that you need to know what are the basics of percentages. Okay, so what do you mean by percentages? Percentages means, we can say percentages means per 100. Right? Per 100 means what value you get out of 100 is known as percentages. So if you say that you have got 60 marks in maths, that does not mean that you have got 60%. That does not mean that. Per 100, only if you have got this marks out of 100, then only you can say that 60 marks is equivalent to 60%. Otherwise, if you have got the 60 marks out of 120, then you can say no, it is 50%. Right? So 50%. Clear? Right? So सबसे पहले आपको ये देखना है कि परसेंटेज ये जो नंबर है, this number is known as base. On what base you are taking it? Right? On what base? If you are taking the base to be 100, then the percentage value is same as the numerical value. Right? If that is not the case, then you have to deliberately convert it to the numerical value by dividing it by the base and multiplying it by 100. That is one of the basics of percentages. Right? I hope you got this part very much clear. Now you should also know how to convert percentages values to fraction values. How do you do that? Just by dividing it by 100. So if I say 25%, 25% means basically it is 25 by 100, which is equal to 1 by 4. Right? So certain percentage values and their fraction values you should be aware. Right? So if you say 25% is equal to 1 by 4, right? 20% is 1 by 5, right? 40% is 2 by 5, right? 60% is 3 by 5, 80% is 4 by 5, and so on and so forth. 25% is 1/4, right? So if I write it in a proper way, how do you write it? I'll say 1/4 is 25%, okay? 1/3 is 33.33%, 2/3 is 66.6%, right? 1/5, as I just told you, 1/5 is 20, 2/5 is 40, 3/5 is 60, 4/5 is 80. Right? Clear? Second thing, next thing, if I say 1/6, how will it calculate 1/6? 1/6 आप देख रहे हो, 1/6 जो है वो 1/3 का हाफ है. So 33 का roughly half कितना होता है? 16.5. So if you approximate, it is roughly 16.66. Right? Similarly, 5 by 6 कितना होगा? 5 by 6 होगा 83.33. कुछ वैल्यूज आपको नहीं भी जानने को चलेगा. 1 by 7 is 14.28. 1 by 8 is how much? 1 by 8 you can say half of 1/4. So half of 1/4 is how much? Half of 25. Half of 25 is कितना होता है? 12.5. So 1 by 8 is 12.5. 1 by 9 कितना होता है? 1 by 9 is 1/3 का 1/3. So 33.3 का 1/3 is how much? 11.1. Some percentage values converted to fraction values and vice versa. ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है. परसेंटेज के क्वेश्चंस में always remember you have to take the base as 100. Okay? Never take the value as x. हमेशा 100 लेके चलो, सारे क्वेश्चंस हो जाएंगे. Okay? Next thing is comparison of percentages. How do you calculate the comparison of percentages? So if I say that if A is more than B by 20%, how much is B less than A? तो जब हम दो लोगों को कंपेयर करते हैं, मैं कहता हूं A B से 20% ज्यादा है, या सपोज करो मैं आपसे कहता हूं कि A की सैलरी B से 20% ज्यादा है, तो क्या B की सैलरी A से 20% कम है? Is it the case? No, that is not the case. जब मैं कहता हूं A की सैलरी B से 20% ज्यादा है, विच मीन्स हमें B की सैलरी को बेस रखना पड़ेगा. परसेंटेज में बेस क्या होता है? 100. सो हम कहेंगे B की सैलरी है 100 एंड A की सैलरी कितनी है? 120. तो और जब मैं कहता हूं आपसे कि B A से कितना कम है, तो मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि B A से, मतलब जब A की 100 होगी तो B की क्या होगी, राइट? तो जब A की 120 है तो B की 100 है, जब A की 100 होगी तो B की क्या होगी? B की होगी 100 by 120 into 100 is how much? If you calculate it comes out to be 83.33. यानी कि जब A की 100 है, B की 83.33 है, which means A B से कितना कम है? It is 16.66, which means B is less than A by 16.66%. Right? Okay, we can also do this by another way. We can also do this by another way. If I say A की जब 120 है तो B से कितना आगे है? 20 आगे है. जब A की 1 है तो B से कितना आगे है? 20 by 120 आगे है. जब A की 100 है, how much is ahead of B? 20 by 120 into 100, that is equal to 1 by 6 into 100, which is equal to 16.66%. This way we can do this, right? This is the second method. The third method is by application of fractions, and that can be done just by looking at the first two methods. आप देखो यहाँ पे A B से कितना आगे है? 20%. What is 20% in fraction? मैंने अभी आपसे कहा था 20% फ्रैक्शन में कितना होता है? 1/5. सो आई कैन यूज दैट. अब A B से 1/5 आगे है तो B A से कितना कम है? 16.66, विच इज हाउ मच? 1/6. तो मैं कह सकता हूं कि अगर A B से 1/r आगे है तो B A से 1/r+1 पीछे होगा. Isn't it? By fraction. So अगर मैं परसेंटेज को फ्रैक्शन में कन्वर्ट कर दूं, I can write it like this. Again, उसी लॉजिक से अगर मैं आगे बढ़ूं तो मैं ये कह सकता हूं कि अगर A B से 1/r पीछे है, if A is less than B by 1/r, then B is more than A by 1/r-1. What is 1/r-1? Right? So this is how you depict the comparison of percentages using the fraction values. It's very easy to remember. You don't have to remember any such formula. You just remember it by proper observation. Now, if you want to convert it to fraction, if I say A is more than B by X%, okay, then I can just convert it to the percentage values. I can say then B is less than A by 100x by 100 plus X%. Right? Similarly, if A is less than B by X%, then I can say B is more than A by 100x by 100 minus X%. So either way, all these things can be done only if you know that जिससे मैं compare कर रहा हूं उसे हमें 100 रखना पड़ेगा. If you remember this thing, it's very easy to calculate. So I have given you three variants. One is the fractional variant, one is the percentage variant. And all these fractions and percentages can be got only if you know the practical aspects of percentages very carefully. Follow the practical aspects of percentages very, very carefully, right? Okay, let's have some questions here on basics of percentages. What is the percentage error in a calculation if a number is multiplied by 3 by 5 instead of 5 by 3? Instead of 5 by 3, what is the percentage error? Which means, say a number is 1, right? Number is multiplied by 3 by 5 instead of 5 by 3. So originally it should have been multiplied by 5 by 3, but it is multiplied by 3 by 5. So the error has to be calculated on the base of 5 by 3 because that was the correct thing, right? So the base has to be 5 by 3 and not 3 by 5. Okay, so what is the change? What is the error? What is the difference? 5 by 3 minus 3 by 5. This is the difference. What is 5 by 3 minus 3 by 5? It is how much? 15. And 25 minus 9. So it is 16 by 15. So the error is 16 by 15 on a base of 5 by 3. So what is the percentage error? So this multiplied by 100. So you have to do a little bit of calculation here. So 16 by 15 into 3 over 5 into 100. So what is the error here? You can say if you calculate 75 and 100. So 25 3s are and 25 4s are. 3 and 3 cancels. It is 64%. So error is 64%. Right? Quite often the students make the mistake that they take the base to be 3 by 5. That should not happen because the question says that it has to be multiplied by 5 by 3. So the base has to be, or the error has to be calculated on the base of 5 by 3. Okay, next question. A candidate who scores 30% fails by 10 marks, while another candidate who scores 40% marks gets 15 more than the minimum pass marks. What is the minimum marks required to pass? The options are 85, 70, 100 and 150. So there are various methods to solve the question. I will take the easiest method, okay? And for that, I don't need to calculate the full marks. Quite often the students make this mistake of calculating the full marks. I will not do that. I'll go straight to the point that I have to calculate the minimum marks to pass. So I'll make a small line here. Okay, this is the bar for the pass marks. Okay, this is the pass marks. Okay, this candidate, he has scored 40% marks. Okay, and he gets how much? 15 marks more than the pass marks. This candidate has scored 30% marks and he is behind that pass marks by 10 marks. What is the pass marks? So I can say that what is the difference in their percentages? 10%. And what is the difference in their marks? It is 10 plus 15 is 25 marks. So can I say 10% is equal to 25 marks? Can I say that? 10% is equal to 25 marks. So if 10% is 25 marks, so what is the value of 30% or 40%? So if I take this one, 30%, what is the value of 30%? 30% is how much? 75 marks. Unitary method. 10% is 25, 30% is 75. Right? So this guy gets 75 marks and ye fail ho jata hai by 10 marks. Which means the pass marks is 75 plus 10, which is 85. Either way, we can do this like this here as well. If 10% is 25, what is the value of 40%? 40% is how much? This is multiplied by 4, so this also has to be multiplied by 4. So it is 25 times 4 is 100 marks. So this guy gets 100 marks and he gets 15 marks more than the pass marks. So what is the pass marks again? 100 minus 15, which is equal to 85 marks. So the pass marks is 85 marks. Right? Let's move on to the next question. Pause this space, pause this video for some time and look at the solution and do this question yourself before you move on to the next question. Okay, what's the next question here? 4 friends A, B, C and D work in the same company. A's salary is 10% less than B, B gets 25% less than C, C gets 20% less than D. If A's salary is 27,000, find the difference in the salaries of C and A. I just have to calculate the difference between the salaries of C and A. Okay. So what you can do is, this is A, this is B, this is C and this is D. So if you notice the second sentence, A is less than B, B is less than C, C is less than D, right? So I can say that let's pick the salary of D to be 100. Let's assume the salary of D to be 100. So what is the salary of C? C gets 20% less than 100. So C salary is 20% of 100 is 20, so 80. B gets 25% less than C. So 25% of 80 is how much? What is 25% of 80? 20. So B gets 20 less. So B gets 60. And A's salary is 10% less than B. So if the base salary is B is 60, A's salary is 10% of 60, which is minus 6. So it will be how much? A gets 10%, so it is 54. Okay, so A is 54. So if A is 54 and C is 80, what is the difference between A and C? It is 26. The difference between A's and C's salary is 26 rupees. And when A's salary is 54, the difference between A and C is 26. So when A's salary is 54, the difference between A's salary and C's salary is 26. So when the salary of A is 27,000, so what is the difference in A and C salary? I am coming straight to the point. I don't have to meander around and around. मैं सीधा point पे जाऊंगा. So अगर 54 difference A की salary है, तो difference है, it is 26. So यहाँ पे 27,000. So what is 27,000? How much is 27,000? You multiply it by 500, you get 27,000. So there here also you have to multiply it by 500. So what is the value here? It is 13,000. So the difference between A and C salary is 13,000 rupees. Right? What I'm doing is, मैं कहीं पे भी x नहीं ले रहा हूँ. हमेशा मैं 100 लेके करता हूँ, so as to make my life easy. And I'm looking at the question. My question is the difference in C and A. So I have to calculate difference in C and A. What is the value? Numerical value is 26. So अगर option रहता, वैसे ये question एग्जाम में पूछा गया, आर्यभट्ट एग्जाम में पूछा गया था, ऑप्शन रहता, I could have said that the answer should be a multiple of 26 or a multiple of 13. Right? तो ये सब कुछ conclusions हैं by looking at the questions. Okay. The price of a jewel passing through 3 hands rises on the whole by 65%. If the first and the second earned 20 and 25% profit respectively, find the percentage profit earned by the third seller. So 3 hands. So the first hand is A, the second hand is B, and the third hand is C. And this is the original person. So if the original person gets it to 100, okay, ultimately it passes on here by 165%. So it is plus 65%. So it is 165. So if the first increase, this guy gets a profit of 20%. So 100 का 20% कितना होता है? It is 120. So plus 20% हो गया, it is 120. This guy gets 25% over 120. What is 25%? 25% is 1/4. So 1/4 of 120 कितना होता है? 1/4 of 120 is 30. So ये वाला बंदा इसको मिलता है 150. अब इससे 150 से हमें 165 तक पहुंचना है. तो कितना रेज हुआ है? 15 रेज हुआ है. कितने पे? What is the base? Base is 150. So what is the percentage profit earned by the third seller? So it is 15 over 150. What is 15 over 150? It is in fraction 1 over 10. What is 1 over 10? 1 over 10 is multiplied by 100 is 10%. So the percentage profit earned by the third seller is 10%. क्लियर और नॉट? अगेन मैंने 100 ले लिया ओरिजिनल को और उसी हिसाब से मैंने रेज किया. देयर इज अ फॉर्मूला ऑल्सो, बट आई डोंट वांट टू गो too much into the formula, right? You just have to follow the practical aspect and you will get the question very easily. Okay, let's look at this question. A salesperson earns $900 per month plus a commission on all sales over $100,000. 1 month she sells R dollars worth merchandise. How many dollars does she earn that month? Okay, so earns $900 per month. So which means $900 is her salary. She anyway earns $900. If she does not work, salesperson, even if she does not work, she will still earn $900. Okay. Over and above, she gets a commission of 10% on all sales over $1,000. So she must have got some commission. Right? And so I can safely assume that R has to be more than 1,000. So what is the commission earned? The commission has to be earned on R minus 1,000. Right? R minus 1,000, and for that she gets a commission of 10%. So what is the total amount that she is earning? It is 900 plus 10% of R is 0.R minus how much? 100. So it is 900 minus 100 is 800. So 800 plus 0.1 R. That is the amount that she is earning for that month. So the answer for this question is A option. Right? This is how you attempt basic questions of percentages, and believe me, सारे questions basics ही होते हैं. सिर्फ और सिर्फ हम x लेने के चक्कर में टाइम ज़्यादा ले लेते हैं. Right? You don't have to take x. You take the values to be 100 and you'll get the questions very, very easily. Thank you so much. Wonderful teaching you. Keep looking at this space. Subscribe for our videos. Like the videos and you will get some quality content over here as well. Thanks for watching and happy learning. Right? Till we meet again. Thank you so much.